Greetings everyone, Mr. Nowicki here. I'm giving you an introduction to Autodesk Inventor Professional version 2019. I'm currently running 2018 and the lab is running 19, but it doesn't really matter which version. There are very few differences from version to version. So when you first launch Inventor, you're probably going to get an option at first install to ask you if you want to start working or learning. I assume you clicked working because your learning is going to take place in class, not via those tutorials. Those tutorials are great, by the way. If you get a chance to go through them on your own time, that'd be something I would recommend. So this is what you're first going to see with Inventor. Up here is going to be the ribbon. Depending on what you have open, will give you different tabs and such that will give you different tool sets for different options. This up here is called the Quick Launch Toolbar. And okay, let's go ahead and get started with a part. Typically in Inventor, the first thing you're going to do when creating a shape is you start with a part. A couple different ways to do it. You can click the Quick Launch one. That's my preferred method. If you click here, that's fine as well. Just keep in mind you have to make sure you're clicking on the right template. So we're going to be using English measurement, and we're going to be using the standard. And we click Create. Okay, so again, see how the ribbon is different here. Here's your different options, your different tabs that give you different tool sets and such. And then over here, this is called the View Cube. And let's see, let me double check something real quick. This right here is called your navigation bar. I don't really use it too much. I use keyboard shortcuts, but it's something to keep in mind. If you want to have it there, you can for your use. Okay, this over here is called the Model tab. This is basically keeps a history of what you've done so far. This is the 3D indicator, and this over here is your workspace, your graphics window it's referred to as. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and click on Start a Sketch. Notice right here our view cube. It gives us our isometric view, the front, right, top. And I'm going to go ahead and click on the XY plane because I want it to be on the front view. So again, we click the front view. If you notice here, this is our view cube. We have our front, top, and right. That's typically what you need for your orthographic drawing, and then you would add your isometric would come naturally from there. Alright, so a couple of things too regarding the mouse. There's really hard to use Inventor without using a mouse. You need a 3-button scroll wheel mouse. Your left button will allow you to select your sketches, etc. Right button will give you options, different menus, finish something, complete a process, that kind of thing. And then your center scroll wheel will zoom out. If you push it away from you, the view goes away from you. If you push it towards you, the view comes towards you. And if you click and hold the center button, it turns into a hand, so it's kind of similar to like rearranging a paper on your desktop. So you're not editing the image at all, you're just moving the paper around, so to speak. Alright, so let's go ahead and start with a rectangle. And I have right now the cursor is following around. I have the yellow dot. I want to try to get it to go green right in the center there, and I'm at X0 and Y0. Now I left click once. I'm going to push the mouse up and to the right. And if you notice the dimensions, the one that's highlighted, 4.514, I'm going to type in a new dimension. I'm not going to try to click into it because that'll mess everything up. So I'm just going to let go of the mouse and I'm going to type in 1.5. I'm going to hit the tab button on my keyboard and I'm going to type 1.5, and notice it popped into the other dimension, and then I'm going to hit enter. And so now I've created a 1.5 inch by 1.5 inch cube. Alright, so now I'm done with the 2-dimensional part, and in order to turn something 2-dimensional to 3-dimensional, I have to create it. So it's going to go from a shape to a form. Alright, so let's see, I'm going to go ahead and click on extrude, and I'm going to push it away from me, type in my dimension, I highlight it, type it, and like I said, I push it away from me because I want to keep the front view. That's just my preference. And then I click OK. And now I have my 3D cube. Now, let's say you zoomed way in and you're not sure and you're trying to find your object and you kind of lose it on the screen. All you have to do is click on this house icon and it'll bring everything right back. Alright, so that's just something to keep in mind. Alright, so that's this part. Next, we're going to click on Start a Sketch. I'm going to click on this right here. And then, let's see. Let me pull this down here. Click my rectangle. Right up here. Wait till I get green. There's my green dot. I'm going to pull it down and away. And I'm going to type in my dimensions here, which is 0.75. Tab 0.75. I hit Enter. And there's my, my square there. So now I'm going to extrude, except it's going to be 0.75. It held on to the last dimension, and then I'm going to push it back again. And there I have the cube, the one that we did the manual drafting assignment with in school. So now I click Save. I go to File. I click Save, and I'm going to save that to my tech folder, and I can just call this Cube. And that's it.